Recording in progress.
Good morning. Nice to see you all. There goes Misty. I might put these back on. We'll see. Good morning and welcome to this moment. I am Natalie. It is fantastic to see you. We're going to take this moment together to really listen to what our bodies are saying and just being in the moment. We're going to start out with some awesome stretches as well as getting into our abdominals, our whole trunk, and really stretching out your body. So join me on your mat. Grab a blanket or pillow to support your neck and your shoulders, and also perhaps some blocks. We're going to get into our hamstrings, really stretching out those backs, getting into all those sweet spots. So find those items to support yourself as we adventure on the mat today. So thank you again. Thank you for spending this moment with me. Thank you for being together, and let's get started. So let's start out with those feet a little bit wider than hip distance width. Rolling those shoulders up, back, and down, lifting from those ears. You know what? Right away, fire on your abdominals. Squeeze your core, squeeze your glutes, lengthen those hamstrings. Inhale, looking up. And then exhale right away as you hinge, bend those knees. And really invite the bend in your knees. The top of your head is pointed towards the floor. And maybe use this moment to toe heel those feet as wide as the mat. And really just take this opportunity to maybe grab opposite elbows and swing back and forth. Allow your head to be heavy. Perhaps even closing your eyes, seeing what your body needs in this moment. As we go on this adventure together, I'm bending my knees and straightening them, but I'm actually moving side to side, getting into my inner thighs, but I'm still keeping my head heavy. But you may need something different. Maybe you bend and straighten and do that kind of elephant walk. Another good thing to do right here is place those blocks underneath you so that there's no tension, or you're really bringing the floor closer to you so you can just get into those hamstrings and you're not worried about reaching the floor. And do whatever you're doing right here, right now, whatever feels good, for about 3 more breaths. Wiggling those hips, just moving along. Seeing what your body needs in this moment, where you need to focus your attention, give some comfort, whatever you need. And then join me in breathing in through your nose. And let's let it all out through our mouth. Bend those knees super generously. Bring one knee to the floor, then the other. Meet me in your cat and cow. We're not going to be here long, but I really want you to bring those wrists underneath those shoulders, engaging your abdominals, lengthening your spine in both directions, and just cat and cow here. Just take a couple moments to wiggle through the spine, finding that movement. Maybe you wiggle your jaw, releasing any tension out of your jaw. Maybe you wiggle those hips side to side. Just take what you need. And then meet me with a nice flat back, long spine. Let's look over our right shoulder, bringing right hip and right shoulder together, returning back to the center and heading over to that left side. Getting into your side body, still pressing into all of those knuckles evenly. Breathing. And let's do one more right and left. And then let's bring our shoulders past those wrists and then behind them. Just really getting into those wrists. pressing into the knuckles, perhaps saying good morning to those knees. I'm not bringing my glutes down to my heels quite yet, just kind of adventuring. And now invite a circular motion. Maybe your rear comes closer to those heels now. And then reverse it whenever it feels good. Just kind of feeling it out. What's happening in your body today? And then return back to that tabletop. Let's come down to one hip and then the other. And either come to your side body and lay all the way down, or engage your core right away, bringing hands behind those thighs, rolling yourself down. So you choose how you want to take the adventure down to the mat. Laying all the way down on your back. Wiggling between those shoulder blades. Perhaps you have a rolled up blanket or a block or a pillow underneath your head, inviting your body to just sink into the floor, into the mat. So wiggle between those shoulder blades, pressing lower back into the mat, bringing feet onto the mat, feet flat on the mat. And let's just look over to the right side. Allow those shoulders to fall closer to the floor with each breath. Returning back to the center, wiggle between shoulder blades again, and then look over your left shoulder. I just have my hands softly on my belly, so just place them wherever it feels good. I don't know where you are in this moment right here, right now, but it's winter. And so sometimes I think we forget to slow down in the winter. We still have jobs, we still have lots to do. But if you can take a moment and just honor what today is. Today it's cold. So choosing comforting things. Returning back, eyes looking up, wiggle between those shoulder blades. Let's draw both knees into our chest, a gentle rock. Maybe it's super hot where you are and you're moving slow because it's hot. Maybe it's cold and you're moving slow to warm up your body. Whatever you're choosing, you're doing the right thing. So congratulations. Let's take a knee circle. Either knees together or knees apart. Reverse when it feels good. Really starting to engage those abdominals, pressing your lower back into the mat. Rock back and forth. And place both feet on the mat. Open your arms or place them to the side. And let's gently wiggle between those shoulder blades. We're still looking up. Let's drop our knees, or lower those knees rather, to that right side. How heavy can you make your shoulders? With that engagement of your abdominals, we lift the knees back up to the center, and then we carry them over to that left side. That right shoulder stays down, it's heavy. And returning knees back to the center. Take one more to each side. Always initiating that movement with an engaged core. Your lower abdominals, your pelvic floor, all the things. We're working our core from the inside out. So what you see on the outside, it's really about what's going on the inside, right? Make sure that you have lowered your knees to both sides. And then returning, then back up to the center. I want you to grab one block and roll to one side in the fetal position. We're going to place this underneath our shoulders, get a nice little opening. So I'm going to place mine this way up and down. And I'm going to roll back onto it. I have a soft block. This also works with a pillow, a cork block, a rolled up blanket, and then lower yourself. This is a great reason, a great place to have a pillow or blanket underneath your head. So having that block vertically right below those shoulders, allow those shoulders to open, your heart to open. Take this moment to adjust if you need to. Find that sweet spot for you. Make sure your head is cradled. And then here is where you want to invite what you need in your body. Feet flat on the floor. That's great. Feet wide as the mat, and then allow your knees to fall inward. Pretty awesome. You can straighten those legs nice and long and also have them as wide as the mat. Splaying those feet outwards. And then one last option, bringing the bottoms of your feet together into a butterfly position. So, adjust, wiggle around, and then settle in for a few breaths in the position you feel most comforted in this moment. Or choose a few. Take a couple more breaths here, or change positions. If you're doing the butterfly, a good option afterwards is the opposite motion, which is bringing those feet far apart and allow the knees to fall inward. These last couple of breaths, can you wiggle your jaw, open your shoulders more? Let's all inhale through our nose and let it escape your open mouth. Let's gently roll off of our block. Keep your block here in your hand. Roll back onto your back. Wiggle around. Wiggle between those shoulder blades. And then I want you to place your block horizontally underneath your hips. And you might need more today or less. This is why I like these smaller blocks, mostly because my body's smaller, but they're thinner, so I'm not quite as up as a normal block, but you might need that taller block. So find out what you need. And then here again, your options are still the same. You can walk those feet out, draw knees in towards each other, bottoms of the feet together, lengthen the legs nice and long. So I'm going to lengthen my legs, and I would like to open through my shoulders a little bit more. So I'm going to bring my arms out to the side into a cactus position. You can also bring those arms above your head, wiggle between your shoulder blades. And just take a few breaths here. Do what feels good. Do the things that comfort your body. My feet got cold, so I'm going to address that need, listening to your body. Whether it's you need water or food or you're cold, listen to yourself. Your body will thank you much better. Take 2 more breaths, and then wherever you are, and wherever you are, bringing your arms back to the side if they're overhead. Drawing one leg in, then the other, so your feet are flat on the mat. And I want you to bring both knees into your chest with the block still underneath you. Draw them as close as you can and give yourself a little rock back and forth. Perhaps enjoying a little massage on your lower back. And let's lower our left foot to the floor and draw our right leg in. Allow shoulders to open. And lower your right foot and draw your left foot in, your left thigh. And lower your left foot. Bring both knees into your chest. And then straighten those legs or keep a soft bend. Just bring those legs up for a few breaths. You could circle those toes, point and flex. Great thing to do if you've been on your feet all day, even sitting. And bend those knees, bring the feet to the floor, press into those feet, lift those hips, remove the block out of the way. Wiggle between those shoulders. And let's do that again without the block. Bring that right thigh in. And this time, let's lengthen that leg nice and long, really pressing through that heel. Lengthening through your tailbone, allow shoulders to be relaxed. I felt mine clench up. Now take your left hand, open it out to the side, and open up that right leg to the side. Core engaged. And then return it back up. Let's peel our trunk up off the mat. Hover that left leg, pressing lower back into the mat. Hold it here. Engaging your core. Allow your shoulders to fall. And then switch. Lift even higher. And then switch. Switch. And switch. Do it again. Really pressing through that heel, that leg that's nice and long. One more set. Lift taller. Finishing with that right thigh in the clasp of your hand. Draw both knees in. Give yourself a big old squeeze. And roll down, but keeping that right leg in close. Left foot on the floor, lengthen that right leg. Take a few more ankle circles, point and flex those toes, drawing that thigh super close to your body. Shoulders are heavy. Inhale, roll it up, knee to nose. Exhale, lift taller. Lengthen the left leg, hover it, and then switch. And switch. Do it again. Just switching. See if you could grow taller with each switch. No tension in your neck or jaw. Keep going. Big old lever here. We have one more set. Lifting taller in your last set. Stay up tall. Draw that right leg in. Bend both knees. Give yourself a big old hug. A big old hug. Ooh, gently lower. Let's lower those knees over. Actually, let's cross right leg over left. Right thigh over. Left thigh. I had to look down and see what leg I had. Hilarious. Gently lower those legs to that left side, but perhaps it might feel good to lift those hips, carry them over to the right side, and then lower legs to the left side. This is a pretty deep twist. So if you can't breathe or your breath becomes sharp and ragged, please back away, make it more shallow. Perhaps your neck is ready to look over your right shoulder. Engage your core and return everything back to the center. Adjust yourself on the mat. Draw your legs close to your body. Perhaps you can reach your shins, maybe your ankles, maybe your toes. Let's lengthen our tailbone so you're bringing your legs in, but you're also pressing into those hands, getting into that outside hip. Awesome. Let's gently lower that left leg. Let's bring back that ankle by one notch. So we're crossing the right ankle over the left knee. And then I just want you to rock back and forth here. And then when it feels good, press that lower back into the floor and then draw the left thigh close in. Flex through that right foot. Give your leg another squeeze, drawing it closer, breathing. And then gently release. Left foot back to the mat. Uncross that right foot. Open your arms out into that T. Lower the legs to that left side again. Facing, looking up. Clasp those hands up behind your head. And let's do some crunches here into our obliques. Take all the tension out of your neck, your jaw. Working on these crunches, engage your core. Let's do 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Draw your knees back to the center. Bring those knees into your chest. Rock back and forth. Circle. Do all the things. And then I want you to lengthen those legs, straighten them out. I'm still keeping a soft bend in them. I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left, bringing my hands out into a T. Wiggle between those shoulder blades, and let's draw a circle in one direction. Really pressing your lower back into the mat, keeping this movement small, really feeling those abdominals work inside out. We have 6 more here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now reverse. How you guys doing over there? Let's do 6 more here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Beautiful. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock. And then let's lower our right foot to the floor, drawing that left knee in. Shoulders open, they're heavy. Finding that nice compression into that hip, the hip flexor. And then clasp that left shin in your left hand. Open that right arm out to the side. First, make sure that right shoulder is down. And then let's open to the other side. You can have your right leg bent or straight. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same on the other side. Just being in the moment, seeing how you can support your body. Engage your core, bringing everything back to the center. Let's draw that leg into our body. Peel the trunk up off the floor, pressing lower back into the mat. Engage your core, lengthen and lift. Hover that right leg off of the mat, pressing through that heel, and then switch. Do it again. So you know what to do, switching back and forth. Lifting taller, releasing any tension out of your shoulders. Building that fire in your core. Two more sets here. Lifting taller, engaging. Nice. Returning that left thigh into your body. Gently release. Bringing both knees into your chest. Rock back and forth. Nice work. Lower that right foot back to the mat. Straighten that left leg again. You could twirl those left toes. Point and flex. Do all the things. Drawing that thigh closer to your chest, lengthening your tailbone. And lengthen that right leg nice and long. Hover it above the ground. Peel your trunk off. And let's do the same thing here. We switch. Really keeping that connection with the lower ground, the lower back. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting a hamstring stretch right here as well. Different way to work it, different way to stretch it. Lifting taller with each switch. Let's do 2 more here, please. Returning with that left thigh in close. Draw your trunk even taller. And then bend both knees. Draw them into your chest. Give yourself a big old body hug. And then roll and release onto the mat. Let's cross that left thigh over right. Press the hips up, carry them over to the left side of the mat, and then gently lower both knees to that right side. Open your arms out to the side. See if this is a good stretch for you. Make sure you don't have to back away or go deeper. Listen. And then maybe invite your head to look over to that left side. Let's return everything back to the center, but we engage our core first. Return everything to the center, adjust yourself back on your mat, and then draw those thighs close to your body, perhaps using your shins or ankles or big toes. So you're pressing into those hands, but also bringing the legs in, getting a nice hip stretch on the outside of that left hip. Allow tension to release from your shoulders. Lengthen tailbone. Gorgeous. Gently release your legs, uncross them. Adjust yourself back onto the mat and lower those knees to the right side, clasping behind your head. And let's do our crunches on this side. We just lift and lower. No yanking, engaging rather. Six more here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, beautiful work. Returning those knees back to the center. Bringing our legs in, lengthen them nice and long all the way up. I have a soft bend in my knees. I'm crossing my left ankle over the right and taking those tiny circles in one direction. We have 6 more here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's reverse this circle. We have 6 more here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and nice job. 1, bringing both your knees to your chest, roll your trunk up, give yourself a big ol' hug and rock back and forth. Lower your feet and your trunk back on the mat. Let's roll over in a fetal position to our right side, onto our right side. And I would like you to create a 90-degree angle with those knees, ankles. My legs are stacked. I'm going to stack my arms into that 90-degree angle as well. Let's get into that upper back. So we're just going to open ourselves up and bringing ourselves back. So we're just moving your upper back, opening, feeling that stretch in your shoulder. So I flipped over. I'm actually on my left side, but I wanted to make sure and show it to you before I turn my back to you. I guess I could just flip over. But I have my pillow here. Let's do 2 more here. And your last one, just stay open like this, looking up. Allow that shoulder, your pectoral to open. Relax. Mine is hovered. Just using gravity. 1 more breath. Then returning everything back onto your side. Let's flip over and do the other side. So now you know what you have to do. Sorry, my back's to you. But keep those legs stacked, ankles stacked, knees stacked, arms stacked, 90-degree angle at that elbow. And then we open up our chest to the ceiling and then close it back up. Let's do this a few times. Two more here, and then we'll stay here on your last one, allowing gravity to open through that chest a little bit more. I still have my core engaged, navel to spine. Wiggle your jaw, release any tension from your jaw. And 1 more breath. And return back to your side body. Take 1 breath here. And then I want you to press into the floor with 1 hand, using your arm strength. Bring yourself up, please. Make sure that you have a block accessible to you, or 2, or 3, or pillows. I want to get into those glutes and hamstrings a little bit more. And so I want to do a pigeon, but I don't know if you could do, if you knew you can do pigeon with blocks or blankets supported underneath those hips or thighs. So I'm going to show that to you right now. I'm going to start with my left leg so you can see it's the one closest to the camera. So let's come up onto that left foot. And then we're going to bring that right leg behind us. And then we're going to walk those toes over to that right hand. And then we're going to lower that knee. Now, what I like to do is, if you are in this pigeon where that shin is nice in alignment with the top part of your mat, and you're not leaning to one side so you're up on your hips are square, I don't know, if I don't have the block, look at my hip, it's hovering and that's not comfortable. So let's support ourselves with one block or two right underneath that hip or glute. Square those hips. Maybe this is enough. Maybe you want to come down a little bit. You can also use a block underneath your forehead or stay up nice and tall. Try not to use too much arm strength. You're just lengthening your spine, evening out those hips. We're not here long. I love the idea of using blocks. One of my first yoga classes I took, one of the participants had 3 blocks under them, underneath their glutes, underneath their hips. And this person, by the end, didn't have any blocks at all and was hinged all the way forward. So it's kind of cool to support our body and stick with it, and you see results. Take one more breath here. Wherever you are, up high, down low. Sink into your block. Allow that hip to open. And then gently bring yourself back up. Bring your right knee to meet the left. Take any movements here, maybe in your tabletop. Shake out those hips. Do a tailbone circle in both directions. And then let's take that on that other side. So have your handy dandy block, bringing right leg forward. Then I toe heel my right foot over to that left hand. And I'm going to bring that right ankle behind that left hand, squaring those hips. I've also placed the block underneath my glute, squaring the hips, maybe staying here is where you are today. You can come on down. Once you find that spot, wiggle it out. Be adventurous. See where that stretch works for you, and then stay there for a few breaths. Get all the wiggles out, and then see if you can just breathe right then and there. I'm still keeping my core engaged to help my spine stay long. And then take one more breath here wherever you are. And then walk yourself up. If you were lowered, walk those hands in, press into the hands so you can release that right leg next to the left. Take any stretches that feel good right here, right now. Wiggle those hips, tailbone circles. Do what you need to right here, right now. And then I want you to find that tabletop again. Thinking about your core, curl those toes onto the mat. And instead of a regular beast, we're going to do a little hip drop with it. So lift the knees and then drop right hip, left, right, left. A couple times, engaging your core, pulling navel to spine. And then gently release knees to the mat. Tops of feet come to the mat, sitting those hips back or bringing yourself up. Circle your wrists, shake them out. Returning hands back to the mat. Let's do that beast again. Curl toes. Lift those hips, core engage. Long spine, and do a little hip drop. Couple more here. pulling navel more engaged. And now return back to the center, staying into this beast. Press hips up. Now you're in your down dog. Pedal through those feet. Pressing both heels into the mat, bend your knees. Drop shoulders away from ears, shake your hips. Walk those hands in towards your toes. And now I want you to widen those feet into a straddle. Bending your right knee as much or as little as you would like. Keeping your spine long, I have fingertips onto the mat. Touching the mat. You can have a block underneath you. Bring your hips back to the center. Top of your head is pointed towards the floor. Bend your left knee as much as it feels good. Bring yourself back to the center. I want you to place your left hand underneath your face. And I want you to twist and open to the right side. Right hand comes to your lower back. Maybe you look up, maybe that hurts your neck. So looking straight down, just find that shoulder open. And gently release, right hand to the mat, right underneath your face. Your left hand comes to your sacrum, twisting to that left side. And returning back to the center, bend both knees, toe heel your feet in wider than hip distance width. Bend your knees generously, drop your head, grab opposite elbow, ending like we started. With a gentle sway to side if it feels good. A gentle shake, a gentle nod of your head. Bend your knees super generously. Press in firmly to both feet. Roll yourself up. Please take your time. Rolling your shoulders up, back, and down. Drawing those toes underneath those hip bones, or bringing that right foot behind your left. Now we were upside down for a few minutes, so take a moment, take a breath, shake it on out. I walked it off when I was adjusting the camera. Let's take that right leg behind you or not, lifting and hinging towards that left side. You can also take this feet parallel. And release. Let's do that on the other side. Take that stretch, whether you take the left foot behind you or keeping both feet pointed straight ahead. Stretch over to the right side. Get into all those last nooks and crannies. Stretch them on out so you can step into today feeling stretchy and good. And bring yourself up. Roll shoulders. Widen your stance. One great way to finish any type of stretch is we're going to twist. Let's reset our body. Twisting. Allow your arms to hit your body. Your head follows. And then slow down. All the way. Returning facing forward. Drawing toes under those hip bones, rolling shoulders. Lengthening from the tops of your ears, gently close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths for yourself. Listen how you feel in this moment compared to when we started together. Gently bat open those eyelashes. Let's finish our moment with a nice deep breath. Inhale up. Exhale, release. I like the thought of us taking a breath together. Inhale up. I think we could all take a moment to breathe together. Last one, gather in all that love you created for yourself. In the palm of your hands, draw it close to your heart. Bow your head in gratitude. Thank you so much for being you and showing up. Te quiero mucho. Gracias. I love you. Thank you so much.